Yeah. Okay, we just got over here. We got everything set up. Went over what we're doing. We had a little confrontation with the HOA representative and everything worked out. So we don't need to go into detail there. Didn't think he had his paperwork, but it turns out he did, and we are good to go. So here is our patio layout. I'll get off the machine and show you. They had it roped out with a string marking it, so I just painted the corners. I believe that was 16 by 10, a step down to a 14 by 16, and we just added another 6 feet to get us connected up to the bottom of that step. So we'll go ahead and get that dug out. I'll leave a little bit of, if I can find nice topsoil, we'll pile some here and here. Hey Chris, can you grab a shovel or a rake and just a couple of these rocks throw up there just so they can save them for fluff when we're done. I'll tooth it and see if I can loosen them up as well. Okay, here we go. Bringing a stone in. Getting Chris familiar with the buggy. He's a natural. We're going to pour this about 5 inches thick. As I said earlier, over, step down, top of concrete, right to the base of this step. These are, this is as close as I could get it. 7, and we're at 5 3/4, almost 6 inches right there. So the bottom step is an inch shyer. We already dropped it as low as we could. We wanted to keep it sort of flat, just with a little bit of fall. That's for a hot tub, so we like those to be, you know, pretty flat up there. Gave us a little bit of an incline. I'm still about an inch shy. Very acceptable bottom step, good to go. Okay, as we're finalizing stone, still a third of a truck left. All we have is this, so that's gonna be good. I'll be able to load most of that dirt out today and not leave them with a mess. This is a 16-foot long step dividing the patio from the hot tub pad. I had a 30-inch, half-inch rebar, pounded it into the ground, wrapped wire around it, and looped around here and twisted tight. That way no kickers here, we can power buggy in, we don't have to worry about bracing. Snip the wire and good to go. Show you how I did this. Right there. Wire. A nice tight loop. If that's not tight, it won't work. An 8-penny? Whatever.
Okay to start tying this rebar here?
Yes. Just kind of center that one up and bring this one forward. And ball these all up so nobody gets poked in the face. An 8-penny nail. Give that a twist. Now when we're done, we want to see a slight bow in on this because we know concrete's going to push it out ever so slightly. And if it doesn't, we can always push it out. How's that looking? Okay. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, getting everything tied. We want this up on chairs. And they're making some final cuts for down here. And that is our prep for tomorrow morning. We might head to one more project here. It's kind of early yet. Okay, here we are down here. They just built this deck. I guess over the winter they put a dry deck system on it. It's really nice underneath here, nice and dry. 36 from post where the downspout is all the way across the corner. Out 16 feet even with this cantilever overhang of the deck. So I'll go ahead. You can see our height is going to be, elevation is at the base of the door. Middle of that bottom brick is top of concrete. Works real nice grade out here. So I'll peel all this topsoil back. We'll get a nice little pile going over here. And the guy should be here shortly. Okay, here comes the crew. So right in line with this deck, so I have about another foot to go here. I'm trying to get this dug down before Tom gets here. The skid loader would fit underneath the deck real good, but we probably hit that ceiling fan. So I want to get this out so the machine's coming in at a lower level. So just digging it about 6 inches big. there is hardly any topsoil here whatsoever. So let me get going here, and that's why I'm digging it down out here first. Okay, Tom's just loading up about half of that pile. We're gonna keep that for some fluff around the edge. Once we set heights, you can see we're up. So we're gonna grade up to that. I don't think I kept enough dirt behind. So this side you can see is quite a bit closer. So we're just gonna keep some of that. That's like a staging lot, so we won't have to haul that away. We can just leave that there and kind of lose it when we're all done. I kept a little bit on the edge, and we'll chop that up and dress it up when we're done. Why don't we go ahead and run this into a 4-inch pipe underneath to daylight. That way it's not draining across the concrete. And that one over there is outside of concrete.
It's just touching the line going that way.
Perfect. Heading the right way. Okay. This is going to be about it for today. Tomorrow we'll stone this. We might get both of them poured. Chalk line from form to building. That gives us the same plane. So we measured down. Here's measuring down, and here's the chalk line. Chalk line's right. That way we know we're the same plane coming across. Now we'll connect side to side with a pencil and a square. We don't want to see the washboard look going through here. They'll be saying I don't know how to straight edge. And I don't know how to straight edge, but that's beside the point. Yep. Okay, just put in the last pin. Now we're all set the height, nice and square. Can you do the line all the way around these?
Yeah, I was thinking about chalking some lines on there.
Perfect.
Just
Yep, get the same slope.
get a second person.
Okay. I'm gonna hit the road. They're gonna get Epifoam on and some stone in here.
Chalk lines on the.
I got 2 things to look at before we call it a day. All right, we'll be pouring this tomorrow. Exposed aggregate. Really quiet here. We're trying to be as quiet as we can. Funny thing, I just stopped and got wire rebar pulled in, and there's my phone right where I left it. I drove here with it sitting right there. Okay, so we're gonna pull the mixer right down this access lane. I'll move the skid loader, and hopefully we'll pull them. This ground's really solid. Getting a rebar cut. We're gonna pull the mixer right up here. I could level this pile out a little bit. We're gonna clean all this up, and the yard needs work anyways. So the owner said, you know, whatever we need to do, and we can get a chute right in here and just shoot the concrete, no power bugging. Hopefully that's the plan. One last thing I need to do after they get rebar in, cut some chairs and get underneath there. Barrel of water, I can't believe this, we are ready. Chris, you can take that expansion joint and line it down the house. Don't put it in front of the door, just on the concrete wall. Just grab an end and drag it flat. On a hot summer day, it don't matter. Okay, just nose them up. A little bit of a tight squeeze underneath here. Everything's up on chairs. All of our intersections. Just helping the wire up a little bit. Trying not to splash. We'll be power washing all this as well. Rain due in 2 hours. Okay, I gotta put the camera down and help out. Tony will just get what he can, back up. He's the best guy to have here on stuff like this. Okay, that was an easy pour. Getting the mixer in here, you can see damage to the yard, very little. Squirted a chute off there and got it a little bit wet. But other than that, just a tire mark right there. We'll go ahead and fluff that up as I clean all this. Jim's doing a bull float. 3 handles with the knuckle, you can just twist it. See the chains on it? And you don't have to stand on a bucket to change the pitch of the bull float. So I was watching this all night. That's where we're at, the blue dot, and that's what's coming in. We have until about 10 o'clock when they're saying rain's starting. It is 7:30 now. I'm not nervous, are you? This is daily routine for us this time of year. So all done, and the reason we're going for it, you can see the dry deck system, so nothing's going to drip through. If rain comes in and we're not ready for it, we'll make a small lean-to right off of this and cover this area. We might have to drape some plastic in case anything blows in. Very easy cover. It was this or a stamp job, the first patio. So we all took a vote. No, we didn't take a vote. I just said, let's do this, and everybody said, good call.
Yes, sir.
Well, and the jury's still out. We'll see at the end of the day if it was a good call.
Jim doesn't work all day.
Okay. See, it's barely sticking to my fingers. Let's go ahead and start edging. We did lose a lot of time. The concrete just laid here. Clouds are starting to move in, so we're going to get moving on this. A couple of easy cuts today, saw cuts tomorrow.
Okay.
Trying not to leave that inner line when we're doing exposed, when we're edging. And everybody just spreads out and gets going. Mom and I just finished cutting joints in. These guys are moving down. In this case, we use our steel trowels and get it perfectly flat. Now we'll put our retarder on top of that. So cleaning up around the posts, around the joints, re-rolling, getting everything nice and sharp and crisp. You really have to work. You can't just leave that line there. You'll see that in the finish. So wipe that completely out. How hard do you push on the concrete? I always say push it until you can feel the aggregate move. You want to consolidate that aggregate. Don't just sit there and float the top. I'm pushing pretty hard, moving that aggregate, consolidating it. Steel trowel, slow and flat. Right over top. Shallow joiner. and then reopen. And that is that simple. So today we are going to use from Euclid our surface retarder in a sprayer. We'll hit what we can. Now I made this a couple years ago. I took a sprayer wand, cut it, and put a piece of 3/8 copper in it, taped it to a screw handle. Now we can hook that up to our sprayer. Now I can reach in about 14 feet, and the patio being 16. Now we can get a nice even coat of the liquid on here. I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, here we go. Everything's cleaned up. Tools are getting clean. Let me turn this guy on. We'll get you 2 different shots. We got time lapse going, as well as my headset going, but I know it gets hard to watch that. Everybody gets dizzy. So give it a nice test spray. You see the bluish color coming out, and the clog tip. There we go. So a nice even coat, and the color you can really tell when you miss a spot. And if you miss a spot tomorrow, you will know. And it happens. If you miss a spot, you can sandblast it off. It's just a pain to bring all that out and do it. Just get good coverage. Nice even coat, and even let it dry and tack up a little bit, and a second coat, and then we'll cover it up with plastic. This stuff we cover with plastic, and I chose this because of rain today. I don't want this getting rained on in an hour and a half. Whoops, the handle keeps slipping. Okay. Yeah, we just need like 3 feet against the wall. Okay, lots of pressure. You can work that. And I will take this. Let me get in between those posts. Okay, fire. I should have put the trigger right here. Okay.
We're using the expansion to hold the plastic down.
Yeah. Okay, let's hit the next one. Give me a pump. Go ahead. Probably can't see it coming on out there. Okay. Okay, let me back it out. And good. Yeah, let's go ahead and reload it. And we'll give that a second coat. I'll take this off and second coat everything. Just looking for dull spots. Looks pretty even. Got that glistening look everywhere. Making sure I got all the way up to the house. Okay, we'll just let that sit a minute. One more coat, another light coat, and we're good to go. Okay, we just got back. We ran over there and poured a little tiny sidewalk. This is still nice and wet. So now we take the forms off, give it a quick spray, and cover up with plastic. That's how we're going to leave it for today. I'll cover it up. I didn't get a second coat on it, but it was really soft yet. Just cleaned this up with the skid loader. Obviously, we can't go up to the edge with the plastic underneath it. That's it for today. Tomorrow, power washing. This is exposed aggregate where you can see all the pebbles, and I'll show you how we do that. See you tomorrow.